How many rolls of tape can a Lamborghini drive through before it completely gives up? This is how they bought and rebuilt the exact Lamborghini MrBeast crashed, driving through 25,000 rolls of tape. They flew from the UK to America, chasing this idea. They landed in New York, made their way toward Pennsylvania, and finally met the current owner of the car. Guy seemed solid. They asked how the car ended up here, and the story started unfolding in a way that should have triggered alarms. The Lamborghini had originally been perfectly fine, clean title, running well. Then it got bought, featured in a MrBeast video, and driven straight into a ridiculous wall of tape. Then they finally saw it, and instantly something felt off. It seems like a bad idea. The first thing that stood out was the door. It was completely not attached. They looked closer, and that's when everything started unraveling. The body was scratched and dented. The panels didn't sit right. The window was shattered. The dashboard was gone. There was tape stuck in different places. And the worst part was that every second they looked at it, they noticed something new, something worse. But still, they tried to stay positive. The car started. That was what they needed. So now, they know it runs. They learned something unexpected. The car had been converted into a remote control vehicle, which meant the entire interior had been stripped out to install that system. Suddenly, it made sense why the inside looked empty. It hadn't just been damaged, it had been intentionally removed. As they continued inspecting, they noticed a massive dent on the side. At first, it seemed like it might have come from the tape incident, but it didn't quite match. And then, they found out why. Before the tape video, the car had been used in another challenge, one where it was literally shot at with projectiles from a tank. At this point, they weren't rebuilding a car, they were dealing with something that had survived chaos on multiple levels. Still, they moved forward, because turning back wasn't really an option anymore. They took the car to Florida. The plan was simple: start from the front and work their way back. And surprisingly, the front wasn't that bad. They started stripping parts, measuring, comparing, aligning things, and for a brief moment, it actually felt like things were going their way. Progress was happening. Things were lining up. It almost felt like they had made the right decision, but that feeling didn't last. Because the front had been the easy part, and now they were moving into the real damage. They began working on the B-pillar, the section where the door connects to the car. And this part matters more than almost anything else, because if that alignment is off, nothing works. Doors won't close properly, windows won't seal, and the entire structure becomes a problem. They carefully removed the outer panel, hoping that underneath, things wouldn't be too bad. But hope didn't help. The structure beneath was bent, not slightly, not fixable with a quick adjustment. It was the kind of bend that changes everything. Now, it wasn't just cosmetic damage, it was structural, and structural damage means time, money, and energy. Then, they noticed something else. The roof had a subtle kink. And subtle kinks are never actually subtle. They're warnings, indicators that something deeper is wrong. They started connecting the dots. The roof had shifted. The pillar had moved. The alignment of the entire side of the car was off. And when they checked the other side, it was perfectly fine, which somehow made everything worse, because now they had a direct comparison. One side correct, one side completely wrong. The mood shifted. You could feel it. The energy dropped. The jokes became less frequent. And eventually, someone said what everyone was thinking. They felt like they had been scammed. Not literally, but emotionally. Because this wasn't what they had imagined. Still, they pushed forward, because stopping immediately would feel like defeat. So they tried something simple: fit the door. If the door aligned, maybe there was still hope. They attached the bottom hinge. It worked. That was encouraging. Then they tried the top hinge, and everything fell apart. The alignment was completely off, not adjustable, not fixable, with minor tweaks. Completely off. That was the moment it became clear. The crash hadn't just damaged parts, it had changed the structure of the car itself. They measured the wheels, and even those weren't aligned properly, which meant the issue went deeper. Now they weren't fixing a car, they were dealing with a distorted chassis, so they called an expert, explained everything, showed the damage, waited for an answer, and the answer was simple. Anything can be fixed, but it might not be worth it. That was the turning point. Because yes, technically, they could rebuild it, but it would require another car, cutting, welding, rebuilding major sections. At that point, it wouldn't even be the same car anymore. And now, they had a decision to make. Walk away, cut their losses, sell the parts, accept the hit. Or go all in, invest more time, more money, more effort, and hope it somehow works out. Emotionally, they wanted to save it. They wanted the story, the comeback, the victory. But logically, they knew sometimes the smartest move is to walk away. They looked at the numbers, the cost of the car, the parts, the transport. They were already deep in. They could recover some money, but not all. Or they could double down and risk losing even more. And suddenly, it wasn't about the Lamborghini anymore. It was about decision-making, about knowing when to push forward and when to stop. Because sometimes the biggest lesson isn't in fixing something broken, it's in recognizing when it's beyond saving.